And let's go ahead and go over these questions, get them out of the way. First question is 2.29/6. 2.29/6. And there is the question. And let's see if it's a test question. Most of these questions are good test questions, but sometimes they're stupid questions. All right, this is a test question. You can use your calculator or you can use your spreadsheet. So I think we did one of these the other day. I don't know if I'm redoing them. If we are, then great. Okay, so I'm going to click on the spreadsheet. And yes, you will be able to use the spreadsheet on the test. And I'm waiting on it to come up. There it is. And highlight the area. Go to Insert. Go to Chart Plot. Right click. Add trend line. And display and display. And there is your answer. And I'm going to blow it up. Actually, I'm going to blow up the graph. And just so people will understand why I asked for the videos, I'm going to go over this again like I did the first week of class. How do I know that you are in the class if you don't have the video on? Think about that. And do people actually come in, turn their video on, and then leave, or turn their video, or come in the class and then leave? Yes. So with a virtual class, you have to have a video, and that's what I've been trying to do. So I would like for people to turn on their videos. All right. So there is the class. There is the answer. I'm going to write that down. Y is equal to 0.5x plus 6.5. And the correlation coefficient, and I explained that to y'all the other day, is 1, which means there's a strong correlation. So now let's go to the handy dandy calculator and type it in the calculator so you can see how to do that. And this is a test question because we're going to be doing this in the 130. So I'm going to hit Stat, Edit, and I'm going to clear both of these because I don't want to have to delete. So I'm going to clear, enter, and go over to the other one, clear, enter, and type these in. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and go to Stat, Calculate, First or Linear Regression, and go to Calculate. And there is the same answers that we got on the spreadsheet. Okay. So all of those that's a test question. So 0.5x plus 6.5. I like that one because it's short and sweet. Okay, so that's that question. Let me delete that one. Next question is 2.213. Two people have sent that one. So since I did Miss Cruz's the first, I'll do Miss Wilson's this time. 2.213, 2.213/9. Is this a test question? Yep, same type. So here we go to the Excel spreadsheet. And sometimes, I will tell you this, depending on your computer, sometimes, now yesterday I was doing questions on the test and it was putting it down here in the lower left-hand corner. So now it's putting it up in the top right-hand corner. So just click on it. And it's within the test, so you can click on it. It's not a big deal. And I'll talk about that when I talk about the test. Highlight. Go to Insert. Chart plot. Right click. And a lot of you might be saying, well, Hubert, you're going too fast. Well, that's what the videos are for. You know, you can hit rewind, you can hit pause. That's what the videos are for. So, and add trend line and display. And there are your correlation coefficient as well as your equation for the regression line. So I'm going to write that one down. Y is equal to 3.8429x minus 8.7524. And we have a correlation coefficient. It's going to be very high. So it's going to be close to 1 because the square root of 0.9951. That's going to be close to 1. So I'm going to put R is approximately around 0.99 to 1. So you got a very strong correlation coefficient. Go to the calculator. Type these in. Stat. Edit. L2 clear. L1 clear. And that's 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 6, 16, 21, 29, 38, and 45. Okay. So with that being said, you go to Stat, Calculate, Linear Regression, and Calculate. And 3.488428, yep. And negative 8.75, and there you go. And there is the correlation coefficient. I said it was around 9.9 to 1, so that's 0.9975. That's 25 10,000ths, 10, 100,000ths, 10,000ths. That's 25 10,000ths, you know, off of 1. So very strong correlation. Type that in. And there it is, 3.843, and then negative 8.752. Another good question. So I'm going to delete those two. Okay, now we're going into 2.3. And it looks like y'all sending the same question. There's 3 of the same question. So this is 2.317/8. Or I'm sorry, 2.3179. 2.3179. And click on that, and let's see if this is a good test question. why do I say a good test question? Because there's some homework questions that are stupid, and I do not put them on the test. This one is a good test question. So I warn you of the stupid ones. All right, 7x is equal to 28 minus 14y, and 6x plus 2y is equal to 8. First of all, elimination requires you to write it in a good form, and the first one is written in a kooky form. Okay, so you need to rewrite this because this sucks. So rewrite this because this is not in the form like this. So I'm going to rewrite 7x plus 14y is equal to 28, and 6x plus 2y is equal to 8. We don't have opposite signs. We don't have the same coefficients. There is a simpler way out of the 4 different ways you could do this. Does anybody want to pick which would be the easiest variable to eliminate?
The x or the y.
The y. The y would be the easiest one to get rid of, because all you have to do is multiply the second row or the second equation by -7. And that would turn that into a -14, and you could, that's the easiest way. You don't have to do it that way. You could do it 4 or 5 different other ways. You could multiply this by -6, multiply this by +7. You could do several different ways. You can multiply by fractions if you wanted to. But I'm not going to get into that because most of y'all can't do fractions anyway. 7x plus 14y is equal to 28. Negative 42x minus 14y is equal to -56. And now you add those two together because that's what you do with elimination. And the y terms cancel. And that's why they eliminate. And 7 and 42, I have no earthly idea. I would say what, -35, but somebody help me out there. Is equal to -28. Check my math, please. Somebody give me a thumbs up if they're correct. 7 minus 42 and 28 minus 56. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, good. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think it's -49. Wait, are you adding or subtracting to it?
7 minus 42. What's 7 minus 42?
What's a negative?
Yeah, 7 minus 42.
So wouldn't that be -49?
No, sir. You
It's a positive 7.
Okay, so are you listening? You
Yeah.
have $7 in your pocket.
Yeah.
You owe $42. You're going to owe $49?
Well, no, never mind.
No, you pulling some of that. You pulling some of that BS that they teach you in K through 12. I'm talking real world here. You have $7 in your pocket. That's positive. And you owe $42. Tell me what the outcome is, Mr. Turner, if you have $7 in your pocket and you owe $42 and you pay them $7. What do you owe them?
35.
Okay. And divide by -35. Divide by -35. X is equal to 28 over 35. which is 4 over 5, but somebody check me. It's easy, Mr. Turner. It's not, they give y'all so many rules to remember in K through 12 that by the time you get out of K through 12, you don't know how to add or subtract. And I'm just telling you, just remember, you have $7 in your pocket, you owe 42. There's no way you owe 49. No way. Okay, just remember that. All right, now what I do now, I take that 4/5 and I plug it back into whichever one you want to plug into. I'm going to plug into this 6yx plus 2y because it's a little bit less messy. So I'm going to take that 4/5 and I'm going to plug it back in here. It's called back substitution or BS. Yeah, say whatever you want to. 6 times 4/5 plus 2y is equal to 8. And 24/5 plus 2y is equal to 8. And 2y is equal to 40/5 minus 24/5. And 2y is equal to 40 minus 24 is what? 16? I believe it is. Somebody check my math. 16 over 5. Divide by 2 over 1, which means you divide by 2 over 1, you multiply by 1/2. I get 16 over 10, which is equal to 8 over 5, 8/5. So I get 4/5 and 8/5. So 4/5, comma, 8/5. That's where it intersects, but we can check it and see what the answer comes out to be. I'm leaving it there, so if you do watch the video, for the one person that watches my videos, you can pause it. So 4/5, comma, 8/5. And since it is fractions, you do pray, say a little prayer, and hit check answer. Oh my God, we got it right. We feel good about ourselves. I'm going to put that back on there so you can see it. Everybody good? Now, that was 2.317. Now, somebody sent this question 3 times, so it must be a humdinger.
I actually figured the question out, and I accidentally said it again. So
okay,
that's just the same question twice.
Good. Okay, well, since you figured yours out, Mr. Terry, I'm going to do Miss Wiggins, okay? Same question, but it may be different numbers. Okay, so this is 2.335/14. 2.335/14. And let's see if it's a test question or a stupid question. A manufacturer of household items has total revenue given by the function R is equal to 17.5x. R is equal to 17.5x. I'm writing this down. And has a total cost of 15x plus 350. So that's revenue. That's revenue. Revenue is what comes in, and cost is blah, blah, blah. Profit, you subtract the two. Okay, where X is the number of items produced and sold. So X is equal to units, like, widgets. Okay. Use graphical methods to find the number of units which the manufacturer will break even for the product. Break even, that's where they cross, where they intersect. So cost and revenue, that means break even. So you would basically find out where they intersect. So I would use, I would probably use substitution. No, I would actually use probably graphing. I don't know if that's what they're going to use, but let's see if that's what they're going to use. I'm just doing this because I want to see if they're going to graph it versus elimination or substitution. They may use substitution. Okay, yeah, they're going to use graphing. Yeah, I thought they were. Okay, so I would probably use the graphing calculator on this one. So let's pull up the graphing calculator. Now, why? Because I'm lazy? No, because you've got decimals here. Decimals is a prime example of when you should use the graphing calculator. Because I don't care how accurate you think you are, you're not going to be as accurate as the calculator. And with those decimals, you need to use the calculator. That's why the first thing I thought of would be graphing. Here we go. So I'm going to clear everything. Clear. And I'm going to do y is equal, and I'm going to use different colors. So I'm going to make that black. No, I'm not. I'm just going to clear this. I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to go down to the blue. And that's going to be 17.5x. And then I'm going to drop down to the magenta and 15x plus 350. Not 360, 350. And graph. Now I need to turn my stat plot off because it's messing up. There we go. And I need to zoom back. I could do zoom standard or good zoom fit, but I'm just going to do zoom back because I'm one of those type people. Oh my goodness, look at there. Looks like we got parallel lines. Zoom back. And I'm going to zoom one more time. Yeah, we got parallel lines. At least no, I don't think they are. Let's see if they cross up toward the top. Let me just see if they intersect. Let's go with second trace, intersect, and we can set them equal to each other, and we're going to do that too. Yes, yes. I believe that it's crossing up here. It looks like they're converging on each other. I can't get it to. I'm trying to get it. Hold on. Okay, it's going the wrong way. All right, I'm just going to hit enter because it's taking forever. So, yeah, there is an intersection point. So we're going to set equal to 0. We're going to set each other. And so it looked like they're parallel, but it looked like up here they're starting to converge on each other. So I'm going to set them equal to each other. And let's see what that looks like. So 17.5x is equal to 15x plus 350. Bring that across the river. And that's going to give us 2.5x is equal to 350. Divide by 2.5. Divide by 2.5. X is equal to, take your handy dandy calculator and hit 350 divided by 2.5. 140. And then back substitute. Where am I going to back substitute? Into the simple equation. Multiply that by 17.5. 2450. So whether you do it with a calculator or you do it sitting equal to each other, that's the two easiest ways to do it. Capiche? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're hanging around 21. 21 to 20. That's not too bad out of 21 people. All right, question, gripe, complaint. Is that good, Mr. Terry, Ms. Wiggins? That help you out? So you can do it either way. Mr. Terry, how did you figure it out? With the graphing calculator, or did you?
Calculator.
Okay.
I did it with a calculator.
Okay, that's good. And you notice, I want you to use the calculator, but not to take the square root of 25 or to add 6 plus 7. If you have to do that, that's sad. That's really sad. And I'm sorry if I offend you. I don't know who you are, but that's sad. All right, let's move on. I think that's all the questions. Yep, that's all the questions that were sent to me. So that means y'all understand, because you didn't send any questions, that means you understand 2.3, except for those questions. So let's move over to the handy dandy test. And no, I'm not going to sign into that. It'll take forever. All right. And let me tell you how this test works, because I'm going to answer a lot of your questions. So you go to assignments and you see that your homework has grades on them now, and then your test is down here. Okay. All right. Now your test is put together by me. And you have 3 attempts, and I take the highest grade. Okay, you're gonna get asked that on the test. Do I take the highest grade? Yes. You get 3 attempts. Test is 50 minutes. I think this one's actually 51 minutes because I checked it right before I added it. How do I know that? Because each question nationally is timed by each student that does it. And therefore, they've got an average time on each question that I pick. And when I pull that over to the test up in the top right-hand corner tells me how many minutes on average it takes students to do that test. So I get it to equal around 50 minutes. That gives you an extra 40 minutes to do the test, because I give a total of 90 minutes. Okay, so since I'm giving everybody extra time, anybody that's documented to have more time, after you take the 3 tests at 90 minutes with 40 minutes extra time, we'll look at giving you extra time. After you've taken it 3 times and you're not satisfied with the score, we will do that. But I have to have documentation, and people send me that by email. Okay? So you have 90 minutes to take the tests. You take 3 attempts. And let's see, what else is there? I think there's 40 on this test. So that means they're 2.5 apiece, with 14 minus 14 bonus questions, which people that are non-sentient can get those right. So technically there's what, 26 questions. 26 times 2.5 is what, 42? Like 50 points. I'm giving you like 50 points on this test. Will people make below 50? Yes. Because they will get some of these non-sentient questions wrong. Okay, so that's the test. How do you make up the test, Hubert? Well, for each question, the test mechanism will actually pull from a pool of questions. Some have 5 questions, some have 15 questions. So if Miss Ray is taking the test and she's on number 2, Miss Wiggins may be on the test and her number 5 looks like Miss Ray's number 2, but it's going to be totally different, but it's similar because it's pulling those two questions are pulling from the same pool. Okay. I also reorder each test. So Miss Ray's test will be in a different order than Miss Wiggins' test. It'll be a different order. And I also algorithmically generate. These may be the same question, but it pulls from a different number, and this one may say y is equal to 2x. This one may regenerate and say y is equal to negative 1/2 x. Everybody with me? So if you think you're going to sit beside each other and do the same test, you're on crack, because there ain't no way I would let you do that. All right? So you got 3 different forms of reordering on this test. What's the chances of you pulling up the same test beside somebody? None. 0. So I know I'm not going to stop cheaters, because those DAs, they'll be all around. They just get fired when they get in the real world. But you're not going to stop them. Just like criminals, you're not going to stop criminals. So I just try to keep the 90%. I just try to keep them, honest. I don't really care about the dumbasses. Any questions on the test? Okay, so let me finish going over the test, and I'll see if anybody's got any other questions. So you go to the assignment, you click on it. Look at there. It gives you the due date. It gives you the time it's due, midnight. It gives you how many minutes you got. It gives you how many attempts you got. So click on it. It's going to ask you, do you want to start the test? And that means look outside and make sure there's not a lightning storm, not a hurricane, not a flood. Why do people try to take? I don't have any idea, but they do. And then they cry when the lightning strikes and knocks them out of a test. Okay, if it's not lightning outside and not a hurricane and not a thunderstorm, go ahead and hit start test. Let me go ahead and tell you this too. My lab's math sends me different messages. Now, I want everybody to write this down, different messages. The 2 most common messages I get are enable access. That's when a student has left the test. Okay, when a student leaves the test, and I'll show you this in just a minute, the computer will lock you out. My lab's math will lock you out. You will not be able to do homework. You will not be able to do any of the tests. The first time you do this, I will let it go. I will reset it. The second time, I'll deduct points. Usually 10 points first. I'll deduct points. Third, I'm not going to reset it. You're going to get a 0 on the test. Well, Hubert, what if lightning strikes? Well, lightning strikes gives me another. It says reset test. Most of the time, this is what I get. This is when you have some kind of power failure, your computer messes up, the dog ate the cord that goes to the wall, socket, the house blew up, whatever y'all use. Most of the time, this takes care of that because it's not your fault. This is your fault. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so most of the time I get this. So don't lie to me because this tells me that you left the test. I don't care what you tell me. I'm going to rewrite. I'm going to reply to you, and I'm going to say this is your first warning. Do not leave the test. I don't care if you tell me that you're sitting on top of the Eiffel Tower trying to take the test. I'm going to tell you do not leave the test because it sent me this message. Does everybody understand what I'm telling you? Please don't lie to me. Okay? Please. That message is sent when you leave the test. All right. Now, I'm going to go to the test. I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to. I'm going to go to the preview. This is a teacher's preview, so this is a little bit different, but it shows you the test. So I'm going to go to the test, assignment, and the test is down here, and preview. First thing I tell students to do is make the test full screen. That way, you're not tempted to go outside of the test. What is going outside of the test? Taking your cursor and clicking outside on one of these down here, or closing out, minimizing, and going to YouTube or going to My Labs Math. Does everybody get what I'm getting at? If you leave the test, if your cursor leaves the test, it will shut it down. All right, so here's the question. And it says solution inequality. So let's go through and do that problem because y'all know how to do inequalities. 1.4x minus 1.2 greater than or equal to 3 minus 0.6x. Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to clear these fractions because I ain't going to utilize no calculator when I can do the math. So that's a 10th, that's a 10th, and that's a 10th. So I'm going to multiply by 10, and that's going to move everything over. This is no joke. I showed people this, and 12 years of school, students think this is a magic trick. 14x minus 12 is greater than or equal to 3 minus 6x. And I'm going to take that 6 across the river. Take that 12 across the river. And 14 plus 6 is 20x. And 3 plus 12 is 15. Divide by, sorry, hold on. And divide by 20. And x is equal to what? 5/4? No, 3/4. Yeah, 3 and 5 will go in there 4 times. So x is greater than or equal to. So I'm going to graph this because some of you may have forgotten how to do things with inequalities. And we want x is greater than 3/4, so this is 3/4. This gets a closed circle. And what numbers are greater than 3/4? Everything to the right, which includes that arrowhead right there, which is called infinity. So if I wanted to write this in set builder notation, that would be braces x such that x is greater than or equal to 3/4. And interval notation, you just read from left to right, 3/4, comma, infinity. So there is 4 possible answers for this question, depending on what they ask for. I'll leave that on the whiteboard there. So I'm going to go back to the test question. And I'm going to pull up my whiteboard because I want to make sure you understand that you can see that there's some of these that you can mark out because they're not the answer. Okay, so you can mark out this one because it's going the wrong way. You can mark out this one, it's going the wrong way. You can mark out this one, it's got a parenthesis. You can mark out, okay, this one, it's going the wrong way. This one's going the wrong way. And I'm looking for 3/4. Where's 3/4? There's 3/4 right there. That's not 3/4, that's 2. That's -2. So it looks like the only possible answer is G, as in golf. So, and this up here, the solution as an inequality is x is greater than or equal to 3/4, if I did the math right. Interval notation is bracket 3/4, comma, infinity, parenthesis. Oh, heck. I suck. Hold on. 3/4, comma, infinity, and parenthesis. That should be the correct answer. Ooh, your input is incorrect. I got a 0. I must have done something wrong. Maybe they want decimals because it started with decimals. 0.75. 0.75. And next. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't check it. Okay, I have no idea what I got right, what got wrong. Did y'all come out with a different answer? I'll do it with decimals because evidently I don't know what I'm doing. So let's look and see. (1.4x) minus 1.2 is greater than or equal to 3 minus 0.6x. Bring 0.6x over, and that's 2.0 minus 1.2 greater than 3. Take the 1.2 over, and that's 2.0x is greater than 3, that's 4.2, divide by 2. Now I'm getting a different answer now, so I must have done something wrong. X is greater than, don't you dare say it. Well, I know somebody's fixing to say, that's what I got. Well, you should have said something a while ago. 2 divided by 2, that's 2.1. So I did get something wrong. Now I'm going to go back and check to see what I did wrong. So 1.4x minus 1.2. Oh, I see it. I already see it. I know where I went wrong. 30, that 3 is supposed to be a 30, minus 0.6x multiplied by 10, 1.1 plus 14x minus 12, 30 minus 6x. That was my error. Now I'm going to get the same answer. So that's going to be 20x plus 42 greater than 42, divide by 20, divide by 20, and x is equal to 2.1. Or greater than. So I made a mistake. Sorry, I found it. So, and I don't need somebody to go, oh yeah, that's what I got. I thought that's what. Well, you should have said something when I made the mistake, not 15 hours later. All right, greater than 2.1. So let me write the answers down again. Sorry about that. This is negative infinity. This is positive infinity. This is 0. This is negative 2. This is positive 2. 2.1 is right here. So it looks like this. And interval notation would be 2.1, comma, infinity. And set builder notation would be x such that x is greater than or equal to 2.1. So I apologize for the error. Just think of it, we did two separate problems, one with a 3 and one with a 30. My bad. So that should be 2.1 greater than or equal to 2.1. And this should be 2.1. And 2.1 is not G, but E is an echo. Now let's see. That looks better, Hubert. You suck. Let's go to the next one. Sorry about that. I'm not on Benadryl this morning. I didn't snort Benadryl this morning. I did the other morning, though. All right. Took too many. Next. Okay. Why does Hubert not entertain extra points at the end of the semester? Because I give you 2 chances on every unit test, and I give you at least 40 points on each test. So don't be coming to me at the end of the semester, write me an email, and then I don't reply because I'm not going to, and then you tell my department head that I didn't reply to you. Well, I didn't reply because I've already addressed this. Next, it's not supposed to bunch up these questions, but it will. If you miss a question on test and believe it is correct, if you want to challenge a test question, what do? You send me several emails with the last one saying, hello, you asked to meet me after class. That's what you would do to your supervisor. After a meeting, you would ask to see him after the meeting. You wouldn't send him 15 emails or her 15 emails and say, hello. All right, solve the equation. 3x minus 5 over 4 minus x equals 1 minus x over 6. What do you do here? What are you going to do here to make life easy on yourself? We did one like this in class, so your silence is not appreciated.
Take out the denominator.
Take out the fraction, yes. Multiply through by, let's go over here to the side because we don't know everything. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. Because some people multiply them together and that's not right. So 2, that's 2 and 3. 2, 1, and 3. 3, 1, and 1. So we got the 2 1s So 12 is our common denominator. So 12 over 1 here, 12 over 1 here, 12 over 1 here, 12 over 1 here. I do this for baby step to kind of show you why we do this. X minus 5 over 4 minus X over 1 equals 1 over 1 minus X over 6. And that 12 will cancel, make a 3, and that's 12x, and that's 12, and that 6 will cancel here and make a 2. So that's going to be 9, x minus 5, minus 12x, equals 12 minus 2x. And 9x minus 45 minus 12x is equal to 12 minus 2x. 9 minus 12x is negative 3x. So I'm going to take the 3x across the river and bring the 12 across the river. I'm causing some people to have a heart attack there because I brought the 3x over here. And you can't, you got 2 kids and they on a seesaw. If they get on another seesaw, they can't switch. They have to stay on the same side. Yeah, whatever. All right, so negative 47 or 57 is equal to x. So x is equal to negative 57. Somebody check my math, please. See what y'all get. Thumbs up? Let's check because somebody got a positive 57. So we have to fix that right now. Negative 57. Check. Oh my God, that means positive 57 is what? Wrong. Next. I know, I'm an ass. All right, solve the systems of equations by convenient method. Now these both are set equal to y. So what is the best, most convenient way to solve these? Solve this one. That means that's called a QUE. That means I want somebody to say something. It's called conversation and communication.
Substitution or elimination?
Nope. Good guess. Why am I not going to use substitution or elimination or graphing on this one? Because they're both equal to what? They're both equal to what? What are they both equal to?
Y.
So you can set them equal to what? Each other. That's the quickest way. You could use all the other ways that Mr. Turner, Mr. Terry, I think you said all those ways. But the quickest way is to set them equal to each other when they're both equal to y. That's just a little shortcut. 5x plus 7 is equal to 7x plus 8. Make sure I wrote it down right. 7x plus 8 and 5x plus 7. All right, go to it. I want y'all to do it because I want you to feel good about yourself. So you don't have to wear sunglasses in the building. Y'all seen some of those people, haven't you? Y'all seen them. Are the Oompa Loompa girls, orange face and white neck? They're the cray-crays. They're the crazy ones. All right, what do you do? Well, I'm going to take the 5x across the river, cause people to have conniptions and cardio infarctions, and bring the 8 across the river. That's going to give me 2x is equal to 7 minus 8 is negative 1. X is equal to negative 1/2. I got negative 1/2. What'd y'all get? Let's try. But I got positive 1/2. Well, your weight ain't working too good. Negative 1/2. Now we got to plug back in. Sorry about that. So now we're going to plug back into one of these. I don't care. Y is equal to 5x plus 7. So I'm going to back substitute. Y is equal to 5 times negative 1/2 plus 7. Y is equal to negative 5/2 plus 14/2. Y is equal to 9/2. Somebody check me. And let's go over and type in 9/2. And let me check my signs right quick. Yeah, that's good. Should be 9/2. Lord, it's a miracle. So I guess that 1/2 was wrong. Now, I'm not making fun of anybody. Hell, I don't know what you have. I don't even know if you did the problem, okay? But why am I saying what I'm saying? Because so many times teachers teach, oh, you have to have the X on the left-hand side. Well, I'm going to show you a little trick I learned in the war. Let's say you go to Civic Center. Okay, you go to the Civic Center. Okay, y'all know where the Civic Center is, right? Anderson, and there's a playground up there. There's a teeter-totter. We call it around here a seesaw, but we're ignorant, so we don't know what they're properly called. They're called a teeter-totter. And Jody sits on this side. Your son Jody sits on that side. And Susie sits on this side. Then you pack up and you go to Star. You go to the Star Recreational Complex. And you find a seesaw and you tell Jody that he has to sit on this side or he's going to get a whipping. And Susie has to sit on this side or she gets a whipping. Now, how sensible is that? Making your kid sit on the left side of the seesaw and making your other kid sit on the right side, no matter where you go. How sensible is that? It's called, I don't even know how to spell it. Ludicrous? I don't even know how to spell ludicrous. All right? That's not right. That's not right. However you spell it. It's stupid. All right? If you go to a park and Jody sits on one side and Susie sits on the other, and you go to another park, Susie and Jody can sit on either side they want to. This is crazy, saying that if you have 2x plus 6 is equal to 5x minus 3, you have to bring that 5x over here. That's stupid. So if you were taught that, you didn't get your money's worth. You always try to keep the variable positive. Always try to keep the variable positive. And you do that by moving, and that's got an E in it, so I don't know if that's right or not. By moving the smallest variable. I could spell variable without a problem, But you put an E in there with an ing, and I get it wrong half the time. All right, so let's move on. We got that one right. Although covered in the handouts in the first day of class, what is the best way to communicate with Hubert? Now it's Teams, but it used to be cell phone, but now it's Teams, but Teams goes to my cell phone, so it's still cell phone. All right, next. And is this graph a function? Yes or no? We went over this with the vertical line test. This is a gimme. This is one of those questions you should not miss.
No.
No, good job. And there's quite a few of these on here. So if you miss them, don't tell anybody. There's another one. 3x is equal to 7y. And I'm not going to go over that one. We done went over 2 or 3 solving systems of equations. I want to get to other questions. You can write that down right quick. But I want to get to other questions that are different. A student does not complete a homework assignment. What grade will be recorded for that assignment? 0. There's 2 or 3 questions about zeros on this test. That means by the end of the semester, you will have 12 to 16 questions pertaining to 0 for missed assignments. Why do I do that? Because you're going to tell Helicopter Mom and Bulldozer Daddy that you were not told this information and that you didn't know you were going to get a 0, and you're going to try that route. And then I'm going to show Helicopter Mom and Bulldozer Daddy, I'm going to show them the 12 to 16 questions that you had on each test about zeros for incomplete, and they're going to go, oh. And then I'm going to say you have a liar for a son or a daughter. Next. A company produces a logic board for computers. The annual fixed cost for the board is $361,353, and the variable cost is $118 per board. If the logic board sells for $452, write an inequality that gives the number of logic boards will profit for the product. Okay, so 361,353, and the variable cost is $118 per board. If the logic board sells for $452, write an inequality. All right, so they want you to make sure you make a profit. So the annual fixed cost, so the cost is $361,353. That's the cost. So $361,353. And that's what they cost, and they want to make what? They want to make more than that, right? Or equal to that. So less than or equal to, and then 118 per board. Let's see, and the variable cost is 118 per board if the logic board sells for 452. Now that's a little bit confusing. So that would be 452, should be 452 is equal to 118 per board. So that looks like it would be for 118x, 118x, and plus the 452 has got me a little bit confused. The annual fixed cost for the board is 361, and the variable cost is 118 per board. If the logic board sells for 452, I would say 452 plus 118x. That's what I would say. So plus 452, because logic board cost 452, and then 118 per board, and then that's an inequality. Okay, so that's what I would set it up as. Okay. And let me get to some more. Let me get to some more questions to show y'all what's on the test. Okay, domain. Somebody tell me what's the domain of this function with the arrows on both sides? Negative infinity to what? Positive infinity. And the range is from the vertex, which looks like negative, I have no earthly idea. See, why do they do that? Why do they give you a fraction, or not a fraction, but why do they give you such a crappy vertex? Looks like negative 11 to infinity. Negative 11 to infinity. I'm doing this one because it's quick. Well, I'm sorry, bracket. There you go. That's a quick one. Next. And this one is construct a scatter plot. That is technology. We just did those in the homework. Solve systems of equations. I would multiply through by 10 and clear that top one. You don't have to multiply the bottom one. It's fine. It ain't broke. The top one I would clear and multiply by 10. And that would be 4x plus 7y is equal to 55. That's what I would do on that one. Solve the inequality. Here's another example. Clear the fraction. So I would multiply through by 4 on both sides. That would be 24x plus 4 is less than negative 5x plus 16. This one is watching a video, exam scores between, okay, this one is finding scores, and that's inequality. I'll go ahead and show you how that one's done right quick. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to hurry because I know some of y'all are going to start convulsing. So this one you multiply, if there's 4 tests and you want to make a C, with the C being 70 to 79, then you would take 4 tests. 4 times 70 is 280, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4 tests, and they give you 3, like a 72, a 71, an 80, and you don't know this one is less than or equal to 79 times 4. That'd be 36, bring you 3. 4 times, that'd be 31, 316. And that's how you would solve that. So it's set up as an equality like that. Okay. If it said B, then it'd be 80 to 89. If it said A, then it'd be 90 to 99. Well, actually to 100, you could use 100. And then that would be 90 would be 360 to 400. And that would be, and then you add those up and then solve. This would be x plus x. Okay, that's how you do that one. Next. Another solving a system of equations. If you take several forms of a unit test, how is it counted? He takes the highest grade. Graph the function. This is a graphing calculator, or you got a -2 as a vertical shift. So you're probably going to have to use a calculator. It's not this one. Somebody tell me why it's not this one. Parent graphs, that's a cube. Okay. Chances are it's going to be, I don't think it's this one. That one's got a little shift in it right there. I think it's either Charlie or alpha. And put that in your graphing calculator and match that one up. Or you can complete the square. When does the homework terminate? Toward the end of the unit. Make sure you do the United States. Please don't put Army. 20, the only one that equals 100. There's slope. We did one of those for homework. There's the slope right there. Find the slope. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x of 2 minus x sub 1. Find the system of equations graphically. You do that in the calculator. You see, there's some questions that won't take very long. Solve using substitution. They already solved. You plug in 3y plus 10 for x and solve it. If you have incomplete assignments, what grade goes in? What will that 0 do to your grade? It will decrease your grade. Solve system graphically. Solve system by substitution. The only one that makes sense. $3 per month. That's the commission. You're going to set that inequality. I'm trying to hurry. Some of y'all just chill. Overall grade. If you look at your overall grade one day and it has decreased, a 0 has been put in for a missing assignment. Determine if the ordered pair is a solution. Plug in those numbers, see if it's a true statement for x and y. If it's a true statement, yes. If it's a false statement, no. Suppose the cost of producing X objects was defined by this function. What is the domain? Set the denominator equal to 0 and find what makes it negative. You cannot take the square root of a what? Negative, and you can't have 0 in the denominator. So your answer is going to be without 0. So you need to set that, let's see, 60x minus 20. So 60, 20, that'd be 1/3. So probably 60 times, what's 60 times 20? 60 times 20 is 100. Okay, so all those numbers greater than 1/3. So from 1/3 to infinity, I believe it would be D. Now I just did that one in my head. So you should be able to do that one algebraically. What should you do if you have to leave for a while? You need to come to see me after grade turn-in and let me know that you left for a week and missed the 3rd test. You do that after grade turn-in. A company logic. Well, God, there's that question again. I need to take that question off. It's in there twice. Graph the equation, -4. It's going to be C. Because it's only one with a vertical shift of -4. Now, see, you don't even need a graphing calculator for that one. And this one is we did that in the homework, find the equation for this line using, I would use the intercept, 0, 4, and 4, 0. I know I have till 11 o'clock, so some of y'all just chill out. Does Hubert replace your lowest test grade with a final exam? Hell no. Next. A college board, blah, 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 blah. Okay, they want you to graph that. We'll make sure you graph it. And graph 1500 as a line. Find out where they intersect. Chances are it's either B or D. And I'm trying to see where 1500 is. I can't tell. And is this a negative slope? Yes or no? That's not a negative slope, so it's not D. So Without even doing a bit of without doing one calculation, I think it's B. Oh, you got to put in the numbers. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But anyway, that's the numbers. Okay. Next. What are the coordinates of the point of intersection? Set these equal to each other. We did one like that a while ago, and we also did one in the homework. Set them equal to each other. That's it. So even not doing half the test, what did I make? Even a non-sentient human being can make a 53 on this test. All right? All right, who's got questions about the test? Any questions about the test? All right, then that means Thursday, I gave y'all an extra day for homework questions. So Tuesday, I'm expecting homework questions. If I don't get any homework questions from y'all, we're going to Unit 2. I got to call the roll, so don't leave yet. I know some of y'all are convulsing, but you'll be all right.